Hey everybody, Brando here. This is going to be a summary of the Stampones and all the harassment and BS they've put me and my wife through over the past couple of years. I'm going to do my best to do a summary here. It's a long list. This is what I got it down to, like 92 items. I'm going to try to roll through this quick. So without further ado, here we go. All right, first day I met Fulvio, Stampone, said the driveway wasn't going to work for him. They were going to have the town come in and reinstall a culvert at the end of the driveway. I said, okay, just give me a day or two notice. Mr. Stampone texted, I think, my wife about 5 minutes after. Okay, here is September 18th, 2019. This is Pierce mowing down my driveway. Now you can see here, I got it highlighted where the easement goes. Now, I was not made aware of any of this going on. They just proceeded to kind of take it upon themselves to go ahead and do this. What you'll notice, though, is, so yeah, they mowed all that down. I noticed a log near the Jeep here in the driveway. So what happened is this thing chucked up a log, hit the Jeep, and yeah, I tried to slow it down so you could see. It blasted the Jeep, bounced right off of it. Okay, before they put up their shop, couple things here. You'll notice they have all their building materials on my property, and their Amish workers just take it upon themselves to go and do my Jeep. Once again, my property is just disregarded. Here's one of their trimmers stealing a bucket. I had scrap metal in that bucket. He just dumped it out and used it for whatever he needed it for. This is an example of well trucks, these big trucks going up the driveway. Yes, we do have a problem.
What are you doing? Trying to hide the moved property marker with these forks? Sure kind of looks that way. That looks a little suspicious.
Here's the big pile of dirt they left behind my shop in early May of 2020.
The next marker goes about where that tree is. And just in case there's any doubt as to the accuracy of what I came up with, I can draw this line here, go like this, bring it to this point. 63 degrees. What's that number say? 63.2. Again, margin of error here. Right? Because I want to get this as accurate as possible. But I'm within a foot. I'm not like 15 feet over with a pile of dirt.
Okay, so that was me using 3D modeling software to and survey and GIS data to model the survey or the property lines. This is one of Pierce's workers. I believe it's the owner or whatever, urinating in my driveway. I'm going to spare everyone that. Here's a barrier I put up in May of 2020 after they moved that pile of dirt, just to show the property lines and where they are. This is Fulvio Stampone Sr. just not having it and throwing a fit. I'm going to fast forward this just so you can kind of see. Yeah, he just goes ape shit on my barrier. I called the police this day. It was the first time I called the police on him. One thing that sticks out here is he said he's going to make his presence or more known. I don't know why he would say something like that, but that's something he said. Okay, now fast forward. That was May of 2020. I tried to make amends with these guys. The summer of 20 wasn't too bad until about late August, but this was an incident in mid-July where I saw some commotion around my shop. I go out to investigate, and then I see a wolf. When I round this corner, I saw a wolf with a chicken hanging out of its mouth. And then, yeah, I just walked backwards into my shop. You can see this dog, coyote, whatever it is. I don't know. Now, over towards the end of July, we had a heat wave, and their chickens started migrating over to our property. Me and my wife took it upon ourselves to water the chickens because we noticed they didn't have any water numerous times. Okay, this is a dog that was just wandering around my property. Now, this is a rather large dog, and I'm sure anyone that's read the news the past couple months has probably heard of that story with this poor college girl that got just absolutely maimed and just disfigured by some dogs she was taking care of. I've gotten bit by dogs before. I do not want to get bit again. They need to keep the dogs at bay here. August 29, 2020, this is when everything just went south. Now, they had a guest leaving here. I'm going to fast forward this. They back into Ellicott Road here. All right, now I'm going real regular speed here. They back into Ellicott Road and then pull away. Now watch this car that comes zooming. They were just totally oblivious. They just didn't even look. They pulled out in front of traffic. So I go out in the front yard. I wave down to the Stampones. I'm like, hey, have your guests pull out instead of back out into Ellicott. It's safer. Fulvio, too, yells something. I don't know what. I couldn't hear him. And then he just starts running. Full bore towards me. And he pretty much says he's going to put me in a wheelchair. He's going to fold me in half and put me in a wheelchair is what he's telling me right now. And then his old man, this is Fulvio Sr. in the red jacket. They're basically saying, you guys are going to have to find another place to live. We did call the police, but since he, didn't fold me in half and put me in a wheelchair, there was nothing they could do at that time. This is the following day. This car backs out. Now, one thing you'll notice is, see this barrier right here? It was just something I put up because people were turning around on my property and just driving up in here. The next day, here's what happened.
Well, here's how I'm sure the fruits are.
Yeah, they just level my barrier. So once again, my property is just damaged and destroyed. The way this is angled, it looked like a car ran over it. This is Fulvio Sr. taking pictures, counting my vehicles, and then says, the health department will be here Monday. This is me walking out near my shop about 9:45 on the 22nd of 2020. Now I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. What happens, you'll see a car pass the driveway, back up, and then race up the driveway. Probably hitting speeds of 20 miles an hour. Basically, I suspect Fulvio 2 was drunk. This is them putting a big boulder right on my property line. So yeah, they placed that right there. They have Pierce place that there. On October 3rd, 2020, we got a letter from the Stampones asking for $1,100 and some odd dollar and change for maintenance work on the driveway. Nothing, no other details than that. What I was doing out here is just filming and showing that my little Camry here with these low-profile tires has no problem getting up this driveway, so their claim that the driveway is in great disrepair is just nonsense.
Low-profile tires. Car with low-profile tires can get up this driveway. This doesn't need to be worked on at all.
Okay, I want to pause it here. Food One says, haven't you had enough yet? That's very telling right there because it shows that, okay, they've been harassing me. How else can you take that? Yeah, and then they go right to pedophile, and I'm not going to play this right now. I have this video if you want to see it in its entirety. But basically they go from call me a pedophile, and then at the end, okay, Food One, listen, every time you talk, it's just another round of regulation coming at you. So these guys are like mafioso. It's like every time you talk, it's just another round of regulation coming at you. But he also goes on to say, there's Food 2 saying, you stay here and I'll start sneaking in there, implying he's going to start sneaking in my house and, yeah, doing whatever with my wife. I just can't play this right now. I just want to... Okay, so that was October 3rd. Here is October 10th. Now, they called me a pedophile on the 3rd. On the 10th, they called the sheriff about my security cameras and claimed there's an outside shower. How the cop bought that, I just don't know.
Footage there, that's where they're like, wow, that is some clear video. How far back you can see, and that's where the concern really escalated.
Oh, really? I told them all
Like, oh,
along.
if you can see that, if you can see, this is so clear, what else have you been recording that's so clear it can be seen?
Yeah, it's the only camera.
You see the logic going through.
Right, yeah. I think that there's anything like that.
But it's just not a spin,
I know, but I've always been honest with them, like even before they put up the shop. I'm like, those cameras have been there, and I told them.
So yeah, that's me talking to the sheriff, and the sheriff trying to tell me that, yeah, there's an outside shower. Here's after the fact, after the sheriff left, or the trooper, Me and Kate just disgusted. You can see the look on our faces of just utter disgust. Especially Kate. I mean, neither one of us is happy. We're just beside ourselves that these guys have stooped this low. So what do? I go ahead and I end up moving the camera. This 11.3. Oh, this is more chickens around my shop because I signed up to have chicken shit all over my stuff. This is me and Kate putting up a sign. We had some stuff for sale on Craigslist, and we wanted people to know to go to the green building, the green barn. This is Fulvio 2 coming down, harassing us, just saying he's going to rip up all our signs. This is Fu 1. When he flexes his hips there, he says, there's another round of regulation coming at you. Here is a row of bricks I did behind my shop. Here is the aftermath of Fulvio Stampone Jr. throwing all my stuff around. So there he is doing that. This is the aftermath. This is senior and junior moving the property marker or doing something with it using their skid steer. Property marker's right back here. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah. Here's what Fulvio 2 did when plowing the driveway. He constantly leaves snow in the road, hazard to everyone. These guys are a public nuisance. This is them stealing all my, all my dirt, all my property. They just scoop it up and then dump it behind the Stampones. All this dirt. I'll fast forward this even more. Yeah, all this area. They just didn't even... Yeah. Now, this should be... if theft, this should be a felony because it's over $1,000 in raw material. Why no one is doing anything about this, I don't know. Here's... they got a survey done beginning of 21. One thing you'll notice here is this stake right there. Here's the following day. This is Fulvio 2. He knows, yeah, they messed up. This is me just recording the stake. And this is a few days later. They just proceed to put the millings over that, knowing full well that they're going onto my property. This is Fulvio Stampone Jr. I had shoveled a pathway to get into my shop about an hour earlier. And what's he do when he comes home? He plows his section of the driveway and puts all this snow right where I had shoveled. Just more harassing BS. This is me shoveling my driveway. I had to go over to my shop to grab something. I drive over there, and then I drive back. Now what you'll see here is when I back up, I accelerate rather aggressively, but I did not make it through the snow to get... Now you see that right there? That snow that came down onto my windshield? I was just trying to clear off the top of my Jeep because I sped up and then hit the brakes hard. So I back up, and I spin a little bit. You can see my tires dig in a little bit, but they don't even make it all the way down to the ground. Fulvio Stampone Jr. can be seen wearing a neck brace and coming out, filming me like there's some sort of emergency. All I know is the next day, on the 22nd, the zoning officer shows up and takes the plates down to this car. Now, this BMW right here, I could not get it up to my shop because of the snow. Why the zoning officer decided to come middle of winter, I don't know. One can only imagine. I went over to my shop, grabbed something. I also needed to take a 3D picture. One thing you'll notice is Fulvio Stampone Jr. is sitting behind these rocks for about a half an hour stalking me. You'll see his head pop up every now and then. Right there, you can see it. Now, you might be asking, okay, well, Brandon, what were you doing here? I was taking a 3D surround shot, which I'll show you in a minute what I use that for. Anyways, I get in my Jeep, I go on my way, And here is Stalker Stampone running behind me. The next day, they decided it was imperative that they block off their pig pen. Here's a sign they put up. I had to grab an air tank out of my shop so I could put air in the tire of my BMW so I could pull it in the shop. Well, here we go with Mr. Stampone Jr. Paparazzi wanting to film me pulling out of my driveway. He also proceeded to call the cops. This is the cops the next day. There was a little bit of there was a slight mark on the pavement. You'll notice he's wearing a neck brace here. He wasn't the day before. Here is March 12th, 2021. I was shoveling some millings earlier in the day. This is Stampone Jr. Waiting around for the trooper. He's giving the trooper a line of BS. The trooper has me dump out the millings, whatever. They shouldn't have been put on my property. Here's the zoning officer.
That way they don't have access.
Can you believe that the troopers and the sheriffs don't even want to? Can you believe that the trouble you're going to get into if you ever get into trouble? The sheriffs and the troopers have got you down on a list. This is America, whether you believe that or not.
Yeah, and
Okay?
don't tread on me. Is basically what all I'm asking in this whole thing.
Okay.
I said it all along. Don't tread on me, and they keep overstepping.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Why wouldn't I
don't
push
care.
back?
Huh?
Why wouldn't I push back on that?
I don't have any idea what's going on up here.
So this guy's got no idea what's going on up here, but he proceeds to just look at me as just this problem child. Here's Fulvio Stampone. 2 days later, the zoning officer came back. Yeah, this guy just rips up all my markings and stuff. This is one of their guests, backs up, runs over my sign, and then peels out. Now, he spins out in the driveway, but they don't call the cops on this guy, and I spin out a little bit in my BMW, and I have the trooper here the next day. What was funny about this, I was feet away, and I didn't even know this happened until the next day. Here's Stampone Jr. Trying to convince the zoning officer something. I don't know what. But look, he's like, oh, it's me. This guy's really laying it on thick here. And then the kid comes up with this little animal. Oh, here you go, Mr. D. Joe. Here's a freaking sacrificial animal. Whatever. Oh, God, I don't want to play this one. All right, later on that day, they just say god-awful things.
Oink, 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 oink.
What's that? You're gonna hit my left there.
Oink, oink,
Oink, oink. Yeah, he's... Oh, God, I don't even want to...
Just hostility. So yeah, I just want to speed this up. So what happens here, you got Food 2, or Food 1, the old one, trying to intimidate, and then Food 2 just throwing a temper tantrum in the back, just throwing my stuff around. Saying he wants to fight me and whatnot, I gotta get stronger.
Yeah, I can't play this video right now because I'm just... yeah, they're just saying awful things about me, my wife, and my whole family. Okay, this is me shoveling these millings up. I'm going to clean up my property. Me, I'm just doing my thing over here. So I get that tied, I look up, and I see there's a trooper car in the driveway, and then I turn the mower off. Yeah, basically, he said, I'm taking this property. He's just said it's his driveway. It's a right-of-way, it belongs to everybody. So basically he's saying it's his driveway and it doesn't belong to me. I don't know. This is their heifer escaping again. This is Fulvio racing down the driveway. There's ATV. Here's the roosters in my shop.
Look at all this fucking shit. Fulvio decides to call the cops because his chickens were shitting in my shop. He's just wasting our community's resources. This is absurd, and it's gotta stop.
This is when he gave me, Fulvio Stampone Jr. gave me death threats.
Okay. So there's all the signs that got ripped up. And these things at Home Depot, this is how they go. So you got a 50-50 shot of it landing on one side or the other. Especially if they're ripped out of the ground by that guy. And then he's going to tell me that because it lays this way, that I'm a racist, but this way I'm not. How is that possible?
Yeah, just ripping up my stuff. Here's the cow got out again. This is December 17, 21. Making big just hoof marks all over my yard. This is, okay, April of 22. I don't have a lot of clips for 22 yet uploaded, so. You can see the cow will appear in the woods right here. This is after it went running down the road. This is when it starts running towards me. Yeah, sorry, that's the best I can do for a summary. What do you want? It's 92 clips, 40 minutes.